Have you ever wondered what games you should keep or you should lose? Find out here at Purge Reviews.
Every game you're going to start out with the binoculars, the rifle, and the good book. And then you're going to put a number of these cards up that will be additional cards that you can purchase during the game. So these can become available as you're playing. You can also take the zombie deck based on the number of players. You take some of the cards out, etc. But you'll shuffle these up and you'll have your zombie deck. Then each player will get their player aid with their name on it. And on the back it tells you what happens if you turn into a zombie. You'll have your deck of cards that you'll be playing with. You'll shuffle these up and you'll deal 6 cards. What's going to happen each round is a zombie card will come out. The zombie card's going to tell you how much it costs to beat it and how much it costs to run from it. So let's show what would happen if each round a zombie card will come out. It'll show you here at the top how much it costs to fight it and defeat it. And then at the bottom, what they call the attrition rate, how much it would cost to flee from it. There's 2 things you can do on turn. You can fight or you can flee. So you're going to look at your cards and determine what you want to do. This has a fight of 1, which is fine. So I can play as many of my fight cards as I want to, or any cards that have draw. I just can't play flee only. So let's say I want to fight with 3 policemen. I would defeat this guy. He would go into my discard pile, not in a discard pile of zombies, but my own discard pile. And I would have 3 to purchase. 1, 2, 3. So then I could purchase something. Let's say I wanted to get a box of ammo, which would go into my hand, not my discard pile. This would be discarded. And now I have 4 cards, and I would draw back up to 6. That's how fighting works. On a next turn, let's say it was this, and I want to flee. I don't have 6 in here to fight, so I would want to flee from this zombie. So the box of ammo, let's say I wanted to play that. I could draw 2 cards from the top of my deck, thus giving me more cards as I go. So let's say I want to flee. I could play my box of ammo and draw 2 cards. And if I wanted to play my sandwich, I could draw additional card from the top of my deck. So this is coming from my deck. And then I have 1 flee. Let's say I want to play the rest of the fleas I have in my hand. I don't want to play the fights because I'm not fighting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with my sandwich. He only costs 2 to flee, so I've successfully flown from him. Because I've successfully fleed from him, I can then purchase a card. So I have a 6. Let's say I want to buy some old slabbers. That's going to go into my hand with the other cards in my hand. And then my turn would be over. These would go into my discard pile. Then I would have to get rid of cards equal to half the attrition value because I successfully fleed. So in this case it's 2, so I'd have to get rid of 1 card. I could choose to get 1 card from my hand, or I could choose 1 card from the top of my deck. I cannot get rid of zombie cards unless it's the top card of my deck, which I know I don't have any cards in here that would be zombies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this card, and it becomes purchasable again up here. And then each round, 1 zombie that's there would fly around. Now, as the game progresses, after I go through this deck and all the cards have been utilized and discarded, then you'll start putting out additional cards. 2 for the second time you get through the deck, and then 3 the third time you go through the deck, and so on and so on. Let's say my opponent is playing and I have zombie cards in my hand. Remember, they go in your discard part and you draw them up. I can then add cards onto the row, always to the right, and make it more difficult because you want your opponents to die and be able to lose things. Now, in a case like this, if you were to fight and there's multiple zombies out, you always fight the first one first. So maybe I would do this to kill him, then I wouldn't have enough left over to kill him. But this guy would die, and I'd only have to battle these guys. Now, keep in mind, if I'm not able to kill everyone, I cannot purchase new cards for the turn. And let's say I kill this guy, goes in my discard pile. So these guys are left over. I didn't have enough to kill these. I would lose cards equal to my attrition values. In this case, 4 plus 2 would need to have to come from the top of my deck or from the cards in my hand for the turn. That's what's going to happen if you fight but can't kill all of the zombies. The same will happen if you try to flee instead of fight. Let's say that in this example, I would have tried to flee, playing other cards. I didn't have enough. I could flee from some. I would have to pay the attrition value either from the top of my deck or through my hand. And once again, they go up here to be purchasable again. And you can only purchase from the scavenge pile if you successfully flee from all the cards or successfully fight all of the cards. One would go on the bottom if I was unsuccessful, and these would stay out for my next person. Since it's the second round, 2 more cards would come out, making it more difficult for my opponent. And that's a quick overview of how you play Eaten by Zombies. It's not really a game that you win, it's a game that you survive. And what you're trying to do is last as long as you can. If at any point you draw your deck and you don't have enough to draw 6, and you always shuffle your discard pile if need be, then you'll automatically die and turn into a zombie also. So once you turn into a zombie, you'll be using the flip side of your player aid. What this is going to do is you're going to be adding cards to the zombie row, and there can never be more than 3 to the zombie row that you're adding. And based on what you add, the number on the card, something will happen. So if you play a 6, players now draw 6 cards on their turn. If you play a 1, survivors must discard 2 swag cards from their hand before drawing at the end of their turn. So this will something you'll do on your turn, and you want the zombies to win and the humans to lose. And that's what you'll be trying to accomplish. Otherwise, you want to be the last man standing and eaten by zombies.